Did you know that 87% of medical research funding actually goes to pharmaceutical drugs, while less than 5% focuses on holistic or lifestyle interventions, even though chronic disease is driven by lifestyle conditions? And that's according to JAMA in 2021. So, in this video, we're going to talk about bias and the influences on healthcare and really kind of delve into it because I think it impacts more than what people realize. And so, in this particular video, we'll talk about specific types of biases like superiority bias, confirmation bias, solution bias, or authority bias. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Dr. Erica Steele. I'm a board certified naturopathic doctor. I hold 7 degrees in my field, all in the natural healthcare space. I like to say I went to school so you don't have to. Join me all this week as we delve deeper into all things holistic health with a good lineup. So Monday through Friday, I teach a 6 a.m. morning flow. I teach a 6 a.m. morning flow class that starts with movement and intention for your day. This week, I'll be teaching a holistic healthcare and hypertension class on Thursday, 12 p.m. Don't worry if you don't catch it live. There is a link below. You can register and see the replay. And then if you're in my intro to holistic medicine class, Wednesday at 7 p.m., we'll talk about subjective data and motivational interviewing. And then on Saturday, 11 a.m., we'll talk about interpreting nutrient deficiency survey results and understanding root cause patterns. So all right, now that was all a mouthful. So, what is bias and why does it matter in holistic healthcare or healthcare in general, right? It's really actually dangerous because it's something that we can't see, and bias affects how practitioners assess their patients and assess their patients' symptoms, and it can influence also what treatments are recommended or then dismissed. And so, we know that unconscious bias drives a lot of medical errors, especially in healthcare when it comes to Black and Indigenous people. So, what are some of the types of bias that we look at? So, there's superiority bias, that conventional medicine is superior, right, to holistic practices because, holistic practices are unscientific, regardless of how much data we show, it doesn't matter. And a lot of that has to do with confirmation bias, where patients and practitioners seek evidence that aligns with their existing beliefs and are, somewhat triggered or not willing to look outside of the box. We also have solution bias, where there's this one size fit all approach to everyone listening. So you'll see a lot of supplement salespeople, this will, be this, and there's a lot of miracle cures and things like that. So that's all solution based. One size fit all will do you good. And unfortunately, especially in holistic medicine, it's all based off of the individual and the personalization. Lastly, we have authority bias, where they're assuming the practitioner or the doctor is always best, rather than empowering the patient to make their own decisions based off of all of the information that they are being provided at the time. That's not the entire list of bias. If you're in my Intro to Holistic Medicine course, we go into even deeper bias so you can really understand it from several different perspectives. So if you're interested in attending that class, there's still time to register. Click the link in the bio. So how do we overcome bias? So first, we have to be aware of personal and systemic biases. So we have to really do the work. And, systemically, we have to look at how these biases affect just the systems that we operate in, but also our choices as we're interacting with the system. And so really having a strong sense of self can help guide you, because then you've sifted and sorted through all of these things. And so you know what your beliefs are, you know where you stand on things, and you're convicted about it. And, that way you're not as, easily swayed by other people. Naturally, if you do go into working with somebody, there is a level of vulnerability that exists, and you are, on some level trusting them to advise you. So definitely choose carefully. All right. So also too, we use, in holistic medicine anyway, we use a lot of questionnaires and surveys instead of just making assumptions. So we don't assume that we know anything, because we're looking for data to be able to kind of back things up, but also measure it. So if we know, this symptom, rated, let's say a 5, the first time that we looked at it, and now, it's down to a 2 after 6 months of treatment, we know that, there's been effective change. And so It encourages critical thinking and challenges these outdated or one sided narratives that seem to just permeate in healthcare when we are truly individuals and uniquely made. So, if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe. And definitely comment below if you've ever experienced any sort of bias in healthcare. I'd love to hear more. And also, too, if you're in my class, I can't wait to see you guys all this week. We're going to have so much fun.